The logical way to proceed from Verona is to head due north to Middleton before heading up the Highway 12 path to Sauk City. But you'd be missing out on Madison, just a few miles out of your way east, and it's an amazing place. There's more to Madison than brats and beer, although it certainly excels at both. Just understand before heading out on foot or by bike that some parts of Madison are safer than others. On the day that I most recently explored Madison on foot, I had both of my boys with me. Coming from Verona, we headed northeast through pleasant neighborhoods until picking up Monroe Street. We passed the beautiful campus of Edgewood College, which is a highly regarded Catholic liberal arts school in the Dominican tradition. Just before reaching the southern edge of the University of Wisconsin, they'll pass through what I think are the coolest 3 blocks in the entire city, with an eclectic collection of unique and interesting shops. There's no mistaking at this point that you're in a Big Ten university town, but what sets the UW campus apart is the beautiful lake that serves as the north border. If you explore the university buildings, then you'll be rewarded with cool surprises and beautiful architecture. We stumbled on a trombone ensemble in the music building and an incredible art museum. After climbing the hill to Bascom Hall for an awesome view of the Capitol, we went inside and were struck by the stateliness of the building that was built in 1851. I loved the smell of century-old hardwood and marble. You can play pool at the Memorial Union, and if weather allows, you can eat a simple lunch on the huge deck overlooking the lake, or stay inside for some beer and brats, although on my last visit, I went for the grilled cheese and onion rings. For other food options, downtown is just a few blocks away and has a lot of interesting choices. You can take a nice long walk from the campus out to Picnic Point, and if you're a golfer, like I am, then definitely check out the scenic and challenging University Ridge Golf Course in Fitchburg, where the UW golf team plays. Madison has a lot of what they refer to as bike lanes, which are demarcated by a white line that wouldn't stop an ant. So maybe you have a little bit of room to ride your bike, but you're putting a lot of trust in the drivers that are flying by your left side. A few weeks ago, I started getting multiple videos in my YouTube feed about the INFJ personality type. After watching the first video, I knew for sure that YouTube algorithms had pegged me correctly.
They can appear quite intense to most people who don't know them. However, if they share their thoughts and feelings, you quickly learn that they are very emotional and much more sensitive than they appear. They tend to have a strict moral code and generally act in accordance with their values and beliefs. Unfortunately, this can cause them problems in a society that has a very rigid definition of what a man is supposed to be. And then there's the matter of trust, which they take very seriously. It is at the heart of their value system. It is very rare to be an INFJ male, and so it can be hard to grow up and function in a world made to misunderstand them. It can take them a long time to mature and realize their differences are actually strengths, such as their deep empathy and kind nature. They don't follow anyone. They make their own path in life, and it can be quite inspiring if you're part of the few.
I decided to take the Myers-Briggs personality test just to be sure, and it validated. I belong to the rarest personality type, which includes just a fraction of a percent of all men, and which validated that I've always been able to get along with most people while never really fitting in anywhere. I'm not about to build my life around a personality test, but it gave me some clarity regarding my strengths and weaknesses and how I can better serve Christ going forward. From the UW campus, you can head back west through beautiful Shorewood Hills to the quiet, tree-lined streets of Middleton. Middleton is consistently rated as one of the best towns in the entire country. It's safe, has a beautiful downtown, and it is actually very bike-friendly. There are dedicated bike trails on the west end of town, and from there you jump on the 10-mile-long U.S. Highway 12 path to head north. It's noisy along 12, but where it ends, you can just jump onto country roads. The hills from here to Rochester, Minnesota should not be underestimated. Here's what Wikipedia has to say about it. The Driftless area, a region in the American Midwest, comprises southwestern Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, and the extreme northwestern corner of Illinois. Its landscape is characterized by steep hills, forested ridges, and deeply carved river valleys with spring-fed waterfalls and cold-water trout streams. The steep river landscape is the result of glacial rivers that flowed into the Great Lakes southward, thereby forming the Mississippi River Valley. As you head west, you'll pass through beautiful and history-rich Sauk City. There's a nice little farm stand on the east end of town, and the bridge over the Wisconsin River has a wide raised section for bikes and pedestrians. As soon as you cross the bridge, you'll see the awesome little business district on your right. There's a good Mexican restaurant and lots of interesting little shops that are definitely worth checking out. The town has lodging and is quite safe. Sauk City was incorporated in 1852, making it the oldest in the state. It's also the site of the first Culver's restaurant, home of the Butterburger. And if that's not enough, Jacob Leinenkugel of beer fame was born and raised here. There's a long story based in nearby Darlington about a feud between the Ringling brothers and a guy named Butch Parson who ran a concession wagon. Parson was making a fortune selling pink lemonade, stogies, and Cracker Jacks at the circus, and the Ringlings wanted in on the action. They got rid of Parson in an ugly split, but not before he made out with a ton of money. Having too much money and power is dangerous. We need others around us to let us know when we're going off the rails. The more time and money you have on your hands, the less people are around to correct you. The Bible instructs us to humble ourselves first to God and then to one another, always striving to outdo one another at being honorable. God often uses people around us to keep us on the right path. I like the idea of increased independence as I get older, but at the same time, I want to keep people around me who will put a boot in my rear when I need it. Purpose and independence are nice, but they have to be tempered with real accountability, or you can wind up veering off into the weeds.